Hi world. I want to, I'm eating breakfast. And I'm eating breakfast. And I wanted to tell you about a video that maybe you've heard of on the internet. It's kind of like an enigma on the internet called the iPet Goat 2, done by the Hierophant channel, which is like a European media company. And okay, listen, a side note, I'm all about name brands in life. As you could see if you watch some of my earliest videos on this channel when I had long hair. But what everybody needs to get is one of these. A Nalgene, $11. This is one of the best purchases I've ever made in my life. $11. It looks beautiful. It holds a good amount of water that I have every single day. See what I just did? Remember I talked in the last video about marketing? I just sold millions of Nalgene bottles by not trying to sell Nalgene bottles. They came up with that product organically from a place of expression for what they wanted to do. If they had false motivations to try and sell water bottles, the output would be a bad looking water bottle, like Bill Gates and Microsoft and Android. The products are not excellent because they're coming from a nasty place, especially with Gates, stealing bullshit. So he doesn't have the energy to produce divine quality stuff. Because the process of the path to creating something like an iPhone, something as beautiful, like go back to Jobs' day, the path to get there, there's so many decisions, so many relationships, so many little adjustments. Those are all spirit. Those are soul to soul interactions with people. Only those that are righteous and good can possibly get through. Even in the Illuminati, even when Satan endorses people like Ariana Grande or Drake or Nicki Minaj or Lil Wayne, DJ Khaled, I think maybe, Justin Bieber, what he does is Satan gives them wisdom and insight. And what you find is that Satan, although he tries to look so hard, he actually is exactly like me. And as I said, he's not like me. He can't get there necessarily, but we have the same ethos. He's vulnerable. You know, people say the devil, they said that they look at someone like a badass and they say, his devil may care attitude. But the truth is the devil does care. He's actually he's not like a mean person. If you talk to him right now, he might respond to you and just talk to you. He's not mean. He just fucked up. He fucked up. He's failed in his life. He's failed, and he's fucked for it. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna act? Is he gonna lie to you about who he is? No, he's not. So he teaches Ariana, all these different celebrities. He teaches them how to be real people. That's why Nicki Minaj, Ariana, they're feminine. Okay, they're feminine because they're dealing with a strong yet a wise masculine. But it's not even about masculine and feminine. It's just the energy is right that they're receiving from the devil, which is why they express themselves. They're fun. They're funny. They're feminine. I mean, there's almost no one on earth who's feminine except Nicki and Ariana. It's because there's really nobody on earth who's feminine except those that are in heaven, angels. They're feminine, hot, sexy, etc. Because the principles of creation haven't changed in heaven for thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of years. Anyway, so now, Gene, that's what you want. So, anyways, Hierophant. So maybe you stumbled. There's probably a small subgroup in the world that has stumbled on this video. But Hierophant is a European media company, and they created this video. It's about 8 minutes long, and it's basically like a cartoon animation. And I want you to write it down right now in your notepad on your iPhone or on your Android or on your phone. Write down, or just remember this. Look up Hierophant channel on YouTube. It's going to take you to a channel. It's going to be called Hierophant channel. Click it. The only video they have is iPet Goat 2. So, click it, watch it. Well, I'll tell you the backstory. On Hierophant's channel, before maybe the devil had him removed it, the creator of the video wrote about it. And what he said was, I can't tell you how exactly I put forth the material, because he got high praise for the video because it's so high quality, and I'll explain why. But he said, I can't explain exactly how I put everything in the video. I just followed like my mind's eye. I just saw different things in my spirit, in my soul, and I just put them onto the screen. Everything. So what it is the underworld, the spirit world, really from everywhere, but it manifests most closely. Okay, no, I didn't. Okay. Well, it could have been a nefarious spiritual thing from the underworld, or it could have been from heaven. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. But it was a spiritually endorsed video. Spiritually endorsed. So he produces this video, and it has, you just click it and listen to it. A couple things. Yes, never mind. It was from the underworld. It wasn't from heaven. But we allowed it. Anyways. So, crunchy peanut butter. Put it on toast. And then put jelly on top with coffee and water, ice water. This is what you want. Anyhow, so the video starts off, and hit play when you're done with this video, I guess. Or you can watch them in tandem. First thing you see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through a little bit of it. I think I'm gonna interpret for you some of the vision. I'm gonna call it a vision because that's kind of what it is. It's like if you had a vision from God, you'd see images and they would mean things. So this video is like a vision for the end times. Anyhow, at the beginning of the video, see a goat. I think he's behind a fence. Who do you think the goat represents? The devil. There's a goat. I think he's got like a belt on. He's behind a fence. It's like there's ash coming down from the sky. It's dark. And you see scratched into this panel. Like under him, the goat, you see a policeman with a gun and a dog. And what the place looks like is an internment camp. And this, ladies and gentlemen, these are the camps that they're gonna put Christians. And we're gonna change some of the terms. Christians, I want you to think of yourself not as just disciples of Jesus, but disciples of Christian S from the book of Christian. If you're going to call yourself a Christian, I put it in place because Christian in the book of Christian is the most compelling character that's ever been in the whole world, ever in human history, and ever will be from the beginning of the story. When he's being spanked and he's not crying. He's compelling from the very beginning. So you will have power if you think of yourself and you call yourself a Christian. Think of it like I'm a Christian, like I'm another Christian. Like if somebody was like wise, a black woman was wise, and someone says to her, she's an Oprah. If you follow me, if you follow God, you're a Christian. And a Christian is also a disciple of Jesus as well, because that's how the hierarchy works. A disciple of Christian is a disciple of Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, because they are my disciples as well. So, anyhow, this is an image of the camps that they're going to lock us up in. FEMA camps. They look modern. The fences look modern. It's end times technology. The conjunction between old world magical things like the Book of Enoch and the Bible and mystical, powerful things. Like you see me have that silly expression in my last video, or a couple of videos ago when I was like, did that like terrifying thing to you. I wasn't trying to be scared, I just was expressing myself, but that probably freaked you the fuck out. Because what you saw when you saw me express like that was like, this is not from this world. It's kind of like old cartoons. You ever seen a cartoon that just was frightening to you? Because of its nature. I mean, you won't really find them with modern cartoons. Maybe like 1993, 94, 95. In my mind, I'm seeing like these, like one of those is Susie, the little blue coupe. As funny as it sounds. The story in this cartoon was there was this little car that was named Susie. And this is the nature of reality, of spirituality. Everyone's trying to act hard now, like everyone's fearful and they don't want to express themselves. So even me saying Susie the little blue coupe makes me go, everyone's gonna throw rocks at me. Or at least 3 or 4 weeks ago, they probably say, you're fucking fruit or something. In reality, back in the 90s, people were just themselves. They're they're further along spiritually speaking than we are now. So go back, look up Susie the little blue coupe, and you will see a very frightening cartoon. It's not trying to be scary, but what I'm saying is it's just perfect. It's like vulnerable. So you see like, okay. So you see like it's a car, a little car, and it has like, it's like sad. It's sad. And it's called Susie, and the narrator is like, I'm trying to remember what it was like. The narrator, it's very vulnerable. What I mean by vulnerable is like you saw yesterday on the video, like a true transfer from the soul, the spirit, to the physical. So whether that's crying or just saying, like, oh, and she rode down the road, Susie, she rode down the road. Okay, like that. That spirit, that's normal, okay? That's normal. In our world, in the end times now, 4 weeks ago, not normal. Everyone just wants to get on TikTok and put some stupid, trashy rap song and go like, fear. That's all it is fear. Really, your soul wants to speak, wants to say F, wants to just be yourself, wants to be yourself, wants to be intense when you need to be intense, aggressive when you want to be aggressive, kind when you want to be kind, feminine, masculine. Anyway, so I'm trying to remember where exactly my train of thought was, what I was talking about. So, FEMA camps. So the goat, okay, so it's end times. Oh yeah, maybe this is it. The marriage of all these ideas. This is the end times. Because it's heaven coming to earth. It's the consummation of worlds. Heaven and earth. Heaven, hell, heaven and earth. So in the end times, what's coming together is high technology with wonderful spirit. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine a world where there's high technology like we have now with true spiritual traction, true understanding? That is an unbelievable idea because, you know, in the 90s we had technology boomed, internet, computers. But were we where we are now? I mean, in the last 3 weeks, with God coming to be God revealing himself to the people. This is why millions of people are on their knees, who are worshiping me now, praying to me. All of a sudden, people are reading. I guarantee you, if I went to Chicago right now, I'd find people in bookstores reading. I was walking in the hood the other day. I saw a white guy in the hood, and I said to myself, maybe he read Christian. I have a feeling I saw some white rapper, released a video a couple days ago, and he was like a guy going to the hood or something. I have a feeling we're melding the world. Blacks, whites. You ever notice? I saw this. Maybe it was a TikTok. There's a black guy and a white girl, and they were dancing together. And what do you think when you see a white girl dancing with a black guy? Really, what you think is fire emoji. Because the white woman doesn't give a holy fuck that she's white. She just identifies the power in the black, and she wants to be like him. In fact, all whites want to be black, so to speak, because we want your power. When I lived in the hood in Atlanta, at the quote-unquote Bricks Watson house, there were these blacks that used to hang in this park right across from the group home. And they would just post up like black people do. Post up. Smoke, sometimes drug deals sometimes, do their thing. And I remember one time I was there, and I knew I was a prophet. I thought of myself as a prophet at the time, or maybe a God, I don't know. But I remember that God just tipped me off, that I looked over to them, and it was just a group of them, and I used to kind of it used to sort of bother me a little bit, because they can be kind of treacherous and dangerous. But then I finally was like, what I felt in my spirit was that God was saying, fire. And I thought of myself as a prophet, and I was like, that's a prophet. That's where the prophet would be. Because guys, most of you don't understand this. The prophets, Elijah. Oh, I can't even talk about it, to be honest. I can't talk about it. Elijah. Oh. Elijah, Jeremiah, these were men, prophets. You want a badass? Prophets. Why? Because they're not trying to be badasses, because they're plugged into me. And I've already explained what makes me the way that I am, the badass spirit, by not trying to be. Anybody who fucks with Nicholas is going to be like me. So these men, have you ever seen a man who has no fear? You ever seen someone like that? Me, I don't have any fear. I operate from a place of no fear. Have you ever met an angel on the street? Walk by them, you see a well-dressed guy smoking a cigarette, not speaking, make eye contact with him. He doesn't look away, he just looks you right in the eyes. He's not trying to be intense, he's just looking at you. But if your attitude is nasty to him, he will walk up to you and look you right in the eye. And you will see his spirit, that he has no fear. Because in fact, what I learned recently is that I put every angel in hell for an entire year. A year. Had them bubbling up in hell. fire, cooking for a year. No food, nothing. A year. A year of burning. Can you imagine getting tossed into lava for a year? Put your hand on the stove and you can understand what I'm talking about. It's excruciating. When you sit in the tub of fire for a year, what it does is it burns away your fear. When you get out after a year and you did nothing to have been thrown in that place, when you get out, when you put a pastry in your mouth, you will taste it. When you have a little bit of chocolate, you will taste it. When you look in the mirror and you see your beautiful face because you're an angel, you see your perfect boobs, your perfect body, your perfect vagina, you go, well, at least I'm not in the fire anymore. What the fuck? I've burned. So I'm not afraid of shit. At least I'm not burning. That's what you say to yourself. And then these angels live all of eternity fearless because of 1 year in the fire. This is my wisdom. This is my wisdom. These prophets that walked with me, they were normal men. Jeremiah, Isaiah. They were intelligent men, cut from my cloth. We didn't have the issues that we have now. Back then, in the time of the prophets, they were white men. Do not tell me that blacks were Jewish. No. I've already discussed this in previous videos. That's a big old LIE. From down there. So, these prophets, white boys, educated white boys. A lot of times they were pretty attractive men. Isaiah, a 9. John the Baptist, a 9. Intelligent. When they wrote the books, how did they write the books? They're perfectly written. This is how God works. The joining. I was riding in a car with my father years ago. And we were talking about my life. And I was talking about the benefits of having been homeless for a year and faced the streets. Face these Negrees. I said to him in the car, I think he said, like, so what do you make of it now that you're out of that? And I said, Tom, oh, by the way, in Christian, I said that because I learned that I was born of God, that I didn't have a father or a mother. So I started to call Adam and Trisha by their first names, Adam and Trisha. This is not just because I'm God. All of you should call your parents just what they are. So call them mom or dad. but also call them their first name. Take the example from me. I don't give a flying F about what you call me. You can call me I want you to call me what I am. So call me Dad, call me Father, call me Yahweh, call me Jehovah. What did I do? Did I just say to mankind, you just call me Dad, like the fathers do in our world today? If you call your father by your last name, especially in white America, well, really everywhere, you try calling your father his first name. See what happens. See what happens. That won't go down well. Why? Because there's spiritual pressure. Because the parents don't want to give up their hold over their children. They do not want to be seen as a fellow individual in front of their children. They want to because they're unsure of their own spirituality. And when I say spirituality and spiritual, so I mean the affinity to the soul and the spirit. I don't mean anything religious. So when a parent is not in touch with who they are and they're just following the heart, real motherfucker just does what they want. They're not in touch with who they really are. So they operate from a fearful place. Anyways, if a parent, they don't want to be diminished in the eyes of their kids, but it's a misstep, because really what the parents really want is they want to be respected and they want to have easy transfer between themselves and their children, but they're just afraid of giving up the crown, the throne, especially in white America, where you white fathers and mothers, but fathers, you think you are gods over your kids. Suburban America, gods. You got your white children quaking with fear, and you love it. You love it. You love how they fumble around when they're around you. You get a hard dick because you're too weak in your life. You are a piece of shit in every other area of your life. You had a son and a daughter, so you think that now you can feel what it feels like to be a creature of God. And so you decide, I'm going to be a God to my children. I'm going to be as I should be in every other area of life, but because I fail in every other area because I'm afraid, I will capitalize on what I can control and what I can dominate and rule. And you white parents rule your white children, rule them. And I have fire in here for the way that you think about your white children. How does it come off? Well, whites, the heart feels, the spirit and the heart, they feel certain ways. But when we're not comfortable with what they're feeling, and we're not comfortable with it, we mask it and we express some nonsense. And any sentient person can pick up on it. Well, in the Matrix, sometimes you actually can't. but I'm freeing people and opening up their eyes. But you rule your children. But every time a man of God comes on the scene, he brings the children back to the fathers. That's what they said of John the Baptist. Read about it. It says, and he will bring the fathers to the children and the children to the fathers. And I believe it may have said the same thing about me. Because we're all the same. We're all the same, fundamentally. So I want you to take it a step at a time. Don't run up to your father and call him Adam. Nah. Step at a time. Keep following your heart. I will lead you. My spirit, you can talk to me. Say, Nicholas, help me with this. Nicholas, this. And my spirit will answer you. I consciously, sitting here in Atlanta, will not hear it. My spirit, who fills the universe, will be there and will help you. We'll send you signs. You'll listen to music and you hear me speak to you. You'll turn on the TV and you hear me give you clues. Take it a step at a time, but just be willing. Be willing to go there with your parents. Face your fears. Be a Christian. I promise you, you will get through it. I promise. Anyway, so the example with me is that I revealed myself as Jehovah and Yahweh. It's kind of hidden because of the devil. But I said myself, as in Deuteronomy, I said, I'm Jehovah. I used my first name. So your parents say to you, why are you calling me my first name? You can say, well, God did. God is not too proud. He doesn't think he's more than anything that he is. So are you going to posture more than the king of the whole cosmos? Is that what you're going to do? So we're taking down the prison, the matrix, the fear. So I started using it in my family, and then my brother now does it. My little brother named Caleb. Now he calls my father Tom, calls my mom Patty. But also what I found, I like calling my father Dad, and I like calling him Tom. I don't think about it. My heart says what my heart says in the moment. So just call them everything they are. Call them Father, call them whatever. Anyway, so Hierophant. So the beginning is the goat behind the fence. There's ash falling, or maybe it's winter, I don't know. But what you see on the goat is that you see he's got a barcode on his forehead, which represents the mark of the beast. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of the mark of the beast technology beyond what I do know, which is that Obama and the New World Order, all those guys, they're going to require, as it says in Revelation, they're going to force all people to get the little chip, RFID chip. It is what you think. Inserted into your hand, which is going to alter your spiritual place and make you duller spiritually. Just that little rock in your hand. That's the real problem with it. The problem is not the technology. In fact, in my kingdom, we're gonna make the same thing. The same thing. What do you think about that, Mr. O? The same thing. But I'm not gonna fruck around with people's souls, my friend. That's not what I'm gonna do. We're gonna be able to go up to the register without cash and pay for stuff. Start our cars, open our doors, because that's smart, intelligent, joining all of creation. It's smart. You want to use it for fear, control, greed, and you want to dull your people down because you can't fight against the truth. You want domination. I don't want domination. I mean, I like dominating, and I would like to dominate, but I don't want it like you want it. You have a vested interest in dominating because you fail in every other area of your life. You, like the white parents, you get a hard dick from brutalizing people. Not me. I have a vested interest in living my life. It has nothing to do with anyone else. Not even JC or the Holy Spirit. No one. I live my life. I'm not interested in controlling. I want to live. But dominating and having power, ooh, that's awesome. That's great. I like that. I'm with that. Anyways, so then after the shot of the goat behind the fence, you see Satan. You see claws on the top of the video. And the devil, you see his hands like this. You just see a pair of hands. He's got claws and a marionette. And he's going like this. What's that telling you? If I have to explain that, you need a little help in life. He's controlling the end times, orchestrating the whole thing. Everything you're about to watch is being pretty much controlled. Marionette. And it takes you to a classroom. You see George Bush in a chair. One thing you'll notice with the music, it's just got this creepy sense to it. This penetrating music. I had a friend I sent it to, and he told me, he said, Nick, I can't watch it, it's too scary. Penetrating. This is the marriage of the spirit world with the physical world. Heaven, Mount Olympus, hell. Torture chambers, sophisticated horror. This is the world beyond the one that you see. So the music is penetrating and perfect and creepy and scary because end times. Anyways, they're in a classroom. You see the fat black teacher, which represents the end times. She's got weight on her. She's like an Oprah. She's got weight on her. She's just kind of weak and reactive. So George Bush is embarrassing himself because he's out of touch between his soul and his body. Because he's in the Matrix. He's afraid. He's lost inside. So he has nothing to express to you. So he's like, fool me once. It's like Joe Biden. Joe Biden, his spirit is like me, like you. I made the guy. Joe Biden in his spirit is a cool guy, okay? He wasn't a bad looking man. So deep down, JB is not bad. It's the fact that he has no association between the two. His spirit self and his manifestation. He's got nothing to say. Look at the Freudian slips. You want to see who's racist? You want to see the Democratic Party? I'm going to shine a light on you. Look at what he says in the interview when he said, if you ain't gonna vote Democrat, you ain't black. In his stupid acting angry voice, which we can all see through. Oh my God, we're so scared of you, Joe. Oh my God. Wow, he just got angry. We're changing people's lives. JB, baby. JB 2024. No, it's Obama 2024, let's be clear. In a shaking leaf 2024. A shaking leaf. I want to put a shout out to Jill Biden right now. Jill, I like that at your husband's State of the Union, you had the balls, because you read Christian, you had the balls to give a smooch to that guy. Maybe he was one of your previous lovers or just a friend, but you had the balls to smooch him. Praise. I would do this with my other hand, like the emoji, praise emoji. Praise, honey bunch, praise. And the guy you smooched you to, praise to you as well. Because people, when you do that, you think if your husband, if your wife is liking someone else or has feelings, like I say in the book of Christian, I think all people should get naked. All people. This was the plan from the beginning, from the garden. Nakedness is not a thing. Cuddling with your friends. Not groping, but cuddling. Even just poking, doing the good. Kissing, quick kisses, not with the tongue. Quick kisses, good. Releases spiritual energy. When Jill kissed him, I bet, Jill, you felt, you released spirit energy. And you wouldn't go cheat on Joe because of that. Even though you probably are, because he's a piece of shit. Why wouldn't you? But this is the wisdom. I tell all my girls, I say, I actually am okay with you doing OnlyFans. I'm okay with you showing your body. I don't really give a flying F. You're beautiful. I don't care if men jack off to you. I don't. It's actually like a pat on my shoulder if I'm with a girl that they're jacking off to. If I'm insecure about that, that's my foul. The problem is with Nicholas. If I'm not gonna let a man admire my wife, my fault. I've got my claws out, trying to control your heart and your mind. That's how you lose. So have fun with your best friends. Do your thing. If you want to get naked, get naked. If you want to hold their hands, hold their hands. If you want to give a quick kiss, give a quick kiss. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Have fun. Do your thing. So that's a shout out to Jill. Anyways, so you see Bush. And you see big Obama. And I want to let you know that my spirit, okay. Remember when I was talking about Peter Pan? I'm going to operate under the ethos that, and the understanding that you guys are watching every single word that comes out of my mouth from the very first video I put on this channel. Because what you need to know about Nicholas is that I don't say one single word that I do not want to say. Not one. Not one word more, not one word less, like the Book of Christian. Nothing out of fear. That's why every one of my words, GOLD, judging by that, if you haven't gone back and watched every one of my videos from the very beginning, I promise you if you do it, it will mean there is no amount of money. There's no value mark for what you receive when you listen to my words. The value is insurmountable. What it means is money, women, men, children, houses, food, fashion, sex. This is what my words mean. This is what this translates to. The way the universe works is ideas come first before manifestation. Before sex, you ruminate about it. So the world of ideas, information, this is what you want before the stuff, before the vagina, before the money. You want the head stuff, mental space. In the end times, what dominates? What dominates now? Intellect. It's not about stupid college. Intellect. The two guys who are going to be running the show, Nicholas and Barack, intellect. He's going to brutalize people, but it will still be an intellectual at the into intelligence at the heart. Well, thought through, even though it's disgusting, thought through. This is why he's charismatic. He's actually standing on information. He may be able to spin you when he's with you. He won't be able to spin when he's with me. No. Intellect, guys. So, anyhow, so you see Barack. I don't want to go through all this, but, well, maybe we'll see. So what I want to do is I want to fast forward to where I come in. Actually, I don't have the energy to do this right now. This is enough for now. Maybe I'll do it later.